Hello and welcome one and all, I am Old School Gamer 1971, a special shout out to Moomin and Pro Predator 49XX. Hope you're all having a great day and are staying safe. Today's subject matter is Old School Opinion, June 2021. Before we begin, if you enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up, like, and if it pleases you, check out my channel and subscribe. So without further ado, This month I have 5 games to show and 2, count them, 2 brand spanking new platinums. So we start with Raging Justice. It's a scrolling beat 'em up developed by Making Games that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. This is a side-scrolling beat 'em up that gives more than a few nods to the Streets of Rage series. This is pleasing, and the second I started playing it had a few whistles and bells that certainly feels like the next step in the genre. Visual style is also retro and again gives a nod to certain arcade machines. With levels that are mainstays in the genre, I would say that for any fan you should look out for it when it goes on sale or otherwise. Reflection of Mine is a puzzle game developed by Ratalaika Games that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2020. This is a damn fine puzzle game. What happens on the left side of the screen happens on the right. You have multiple personalities and are accused of committing 2 accounts of arson and even murder. As you go through the levels, so it unlocks the girl's memory, and this is all very well done, and find the graphical style a little disarming, as in it should not be this hard. One for the night time, I do think. Siggy, A Fart for Melusina. I'm hoping I said that right. It's a platform adventure game developed by Pixel LU that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. It's clearing the screen and then moving on. That is the name of the game, with the main character more than bearing a resemblance to Arthur from the Ghosts and Goblins franchise, and the levels looking very similar also. You could be forgiven for thinking that this is just a rip-off. This is one of those games where you can play for 5 minutes if that is all the time you have, or 5 hours if you have more time. Great fun to play. Lovecraft's Untold Stories. It's an adventure game developed by LLC Bellini Games that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. This is one hell of a game. So you start off choosing your character, go to a location, and it's like a dungeon crawler with a shotgun. You have to find health, loot and keys to get you further into the game. This is a lot of fun to play. With much for you to unlock, this game did catch me by surprise, and one that I would recommend to anyone who can play a game with pixel graphics. Bomber Crew. It's a puzzle game developed by Run a Duck that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. I started playing this and felt it was a bit much. However, 10 minutes later and I'm loving this game. You are in control of a bombing crew and must achieve certain objectives. Each crew member has a job to do, and it's up to you how to distribute your crew. If the plane catches fire or something needs repairing, or you need to drop a bomb or take a photo, you'll be doing it all, grinning from ear to ear. And our first platinum this month, Far Cry 3 Classic Edition. It's an open world game developed by Ubisoft that released for the PlayStation 4 in 2018. Our first platinum this month is Far Cry 3, a fantastic open world game with one hell of an antagonist, Vaz. This one came free with the Far Cry 5 Gold Edition, and you know what, they've just carried it on cause with Far Cry 6 you get Blood Dragon. So it kind of gives you an incentive to get the Gold Edition or the DLC. It is the normal affair that we've come to expect from Far Cry games, and that is hardly a bad thing. As a fan of the games and the genre, your friends and you are captured by pirates, your brother gets shot and you escape. This sounds like an 80s action movie, Again, hardly a bad thing, and I am most definitely looking forward to Far Cry 6 in October. And our second and final platinum this month, Noir Chronicles: City of Crime. It's a hidden object game developed by Artifex Monday that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2018. This was a late addition to the month. I owned the game for a good while and decided the other day to go back to the game and finish it. You have to unlock the trophies in expert mode. Not much of a challenge, but was fun to play. You play as a private detective, Fox, who is beckoned to Barbara's aid by phone call. When he arrives, he finds his former flame dead and sets out to hunt for her killer, with twists and turns along the way, and a cast of the usual suspects certainly is for fans of the genre of film/game. Lower your expectations and there is a lot of fun to be had here. Newsworthy this month. So we start with Horizon Forbidden West. Got its own state of play, and my what an amazing looking game this one is. I would advise that if you have not seen it yet, go look and see. This is an impressive looking game without all the finishing polish that comes with its release, so God knows what it's going to look like by the time it releases. The water at the very beginning, how it travels downstream, the foam, how it bounces off the rocks and the like. When Aloy jumps, it looks like she's going to a destination and not just the direction. When she lands, her legs dip ever so slightly. It is the touches like these that make the game more polished. The grapple and the laser shoot are going to make traversal a lot more fun. Adding the underwater looks jaw-dropping, and the new robot dinosaurs. Just take my money right now. Next up we have Dark Pictures: House of Ashes. We got a trailer and through interviews found out a little of the story. Set during the Iraq War, the American soldiers are looking for weapons of mass destruction, which they cannot find. They stumble on a village and are attacked. During the attack, the ground drops away and they find themselves in an underground Sumerian temple and some supernatural looking creatures. The interview stated that even though by the time that House of Ashes releases, the next Dark Pictures game will be near completion. But after the criticism of Little Hope's straightforward narrative, this time there will be more branching paths for you to travel down. Again, just take my goddamn money. This is set for a release in 2021. And finally, we got our first look at Far Cry 6 gameplay. This looks smooth and certainly hectic. It also looks like Pause for Hire are back, or maybe you just have a pet gator. Either way, I'm happy about that one. You play as Resistance in guerrilla warfare, with big explosions and loads of weapons, vehicles for you to modify, and truly an asshole of a dictator. Still don't think you'll beat Vaslo. This game looks like it is going to be a lot of fun to play, and an open world, not quite like anything else we've played so far. And the best bit is, it releases October 7th, Miles' birthday, so you know the score, take my money, blah blah blah. Another impressive looking game from Ubisoft. I can't stay mad at you, even if you are releasing all the DLC I already have paid for late. Oh, and just to let you know, the DLC for Far Cry 6 is you playing the antagonists from the previous 3 games. Round the campfire this month. A little over a week ago, I was looking through the news and I saw an article on IGN. Now, I used to be an avid watcher of IGN, but after a few almost insane reviews and scores to match, this time on the surface seemed to have gone quite mad as the PlayStation 5 has no games. Now, I thought I better check this out. Apparently, none of the exclusives on the PlayStation 5, they just don't count, because you have to pay for them. Because they do not go straight onto PlayStation Now day and date, the PlayStation 5 has no games. Therefore, you should not buy one, get an Xbox instead, it has Game Pass. Right, I think you better hold my drink. Right IGN, What exclusives have come to Game Pass day and date so far for the Series X? What exclusives came to Game Pass for the Xbox One? What was Bethesda's last well-received game? They are all questions that could be thrown about. I'd rather pay full price for an exclusive than accept mediocre games with the odd gem thrown in. Anyway, I will get back to playing non-existent games on my PlayStation 5, Returnal and Ratchet & Clank. Disclaimer, I have nothing against Xbox. PlayStation is my personal choice. Competition is healthy and IGN are idiots. Also round the campfire this month. Where, why, what? Konami. Okay, this one will take a moment. Around 6 months ago, Konami was going on about having something to show the public this year during the summer, suggesting E3 or Summer Games Fest, as they are the biggest platforms to show off their new games. Except they've changed all that, stating that they have nothing to show this year and then going quiet. Now I think something is going on behind the scenes. There is an argument for and against both Microsoft or Sony having purchased Konami. It will give Microsoft that Japanese connection, and with the back catalogue and franchises on offer, that argument also works for Sony too. Except that Sony condensed down their Japanese division this year, the closure of Japan Studio. Those that wanted to stay could go to Sumo Interactive. This leaves a gap in the Japanese division for a large developer. Whichever way it goes, it will be a shame to see Metal Gear, Castlevania and Silent Hill getting the Contra, or worse still, just left there on the shelf.
Hey! Whoa! You got me. Oh my God!
Tally ho, Trojos, how goes the hunt with you? Again another month and double whammy on the platinums. And here they are popping. Lovely little things they are. My little beauties. I want the PlayStation 4 sound back, you know, when the trophies pop, it was a much better sound. But anyway, apart from that, bang on. So let's see what that has done to the trophy count. Level 479, a total of 9,669 trophies, 114 platinum, 698 gold, 1,785 silver and 7,072 bronze. Happy hunting, Trojos! And it is done. If you found this video interesting or have any suggestions, please comment down below, as it will put a big old smile on this old face. Let's get the conversation started. I will answer you all. I post new content every week. Have a great day one and all, and thank you for your support. This has been Old School Gamer 1971, signing off.